I'm Sabrina Samuels, your lifestyle, etiquette, and relationship coach. You know, life is really beautiful when we make it that way. So let's get started. Welcome to my show. I'm Sabrina Samuels, and I thank you for tuning in. You're fabulous. Never forget that. And with hard work and perseverance, we'll continue at the top. We're here at the lovely Marriott Inn.
LaToya London.
And guess who I have here? The lovely and talented Miss LaToya London. Welcome to my show.
Thank you so much for having
Oh,
me.
you are so beautiful. You know, this young lady is only an award winner, but she was one of the finalists with American Idol. She's had 2 albums, or what is it called?
One album and a few singles.
Is she doing plays on Broadway? I mean, she's doing it. And we just left a play called Cinderella. And I'm going to let you tell them about Cinderella and how magnificent it was.
Yes. So this is Roger and Hammerstein's version of Cinderella. And it was here in Atlanta, Fulton County, at the Southwest Arts Center. Basically, it was an all-black cast as well as the direction behind it. And so the way that we depicted this version of Cinderella,
Yes.
it had Lowry seasoning and hot sauce on it.
It certainly did. It was nothing like I expected. I thought it was going to be the fairy tale Cinderella where you have, the movie part.
Mm-hmm.
This was so upbeat, and the music, the dancing,
Yeah.
it was unbelievable. Where did you get that take from?
So Jewel, the director, he wanted to place it in the 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
And so, all of the decor, the art was by Basquiat. It was inspired by Basquiat. The dress was inspired by, the hip hop style of the 80s. So we had the stepsisters and stepmother. They looked like Salt and Pepper, you know what I mean? And the guys had the high top fades and the gold chains and the patent leather shoes with the ribbon, and just very colorful. And he wanted to set it in like a nature type of setting.
Yes.
So the scene, the set itself had a lot of greenery all over the setting, lots of plants and things. And it was just really just very creative,
Yes.
innovative,
Mm-hmm.
and cultural.
It really was.
Yeah.
It gave us so much to not only look at, but to think about. And I want you out there to know one thing about LaToya. This young lady had her part as the queen, and she also was the understudy for Cinderella. So she had to learn 2 parts, and I think you played those 2 parts.
I did, yes.
Well, how did you do that?
I don't know.
After sitting there, I was sitting there in the audience. I said, how could she play 2 parts? Because they're so intense. You have to really be on cue with your singing.
Yeah.
You have to know what you're doing with your movement. You were on cue. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, so, for me, everyone has their way of studying or memorizing. And so my way is, the lines or the script tells a story. So when you pay attention to what that story is, then you know kind of what that line is going to be. You know what I mean? And so that's how I kind of remember lines, is just remembering what's happening within the story. And then with the music and the singing, of course, everyone's different as well in how they prepare. So I know what I need to do to make sure that I'm in great vocal, ability to be able to execute. And so I did all the things, I stayed away from all the things that I need to stay away from to make sure that I can be on point. So, yeah.
You know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to put her on the spot. Sing us a little something, something from the play. Just
Okay.
something, please.
So I'll sing a little bit of what the Queen sings.
Okay.
Boys and girls like you and me walk beneath the skies. They love just like we love, with the same dream in their eyes. Both songs and kings and many things have their day and they're gone. But boys and girls like
Audience, we have an audience out there. Give her a hand.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, that was so beautiful.
I love you all.
She's acting like the queen. She's back on stage. You played that part too, honey.
Thank
You
you.
played that part.
Thank you.
Let's segue to another subject. I'm very proud of LaToya because she was one of my alumni graduates from the Beckman Company 25 or 30 years ago.
Well, I'm 47 now. I was
Wow.
9 going on 10 then.
That tells us about our ages, doesn't it? I tell you. I am so proud of you. Do you think that your experience with a finishing school helped you through your climb to success?
Absolutely.
Talk to us.
So just as we talked about the role that I had to play, which was a very regal and classy type of role, and I was able to step into that because of the exposure that I've had. You taught me class,
Thank you.
grace, you know, along with my mother, classy woman.
Absolutely.
And she knew what she wanted for me, so she put me in your school to make sure that I had that, you know, and that it was embedded in me, you know. So I think with that, learning how, what you taught us how to speak, job interviews, how to dress, how to present yourself in front, you know, in public.
Yeah.
And so that definitely helps because in this business, you have to have meetings, you have to present yourself. And so I was able to have that confidence and that know-how already instilled in me as a young child. So definitely through my auditions, through meetings, and even performing on stage, dealing with different types of people, you know how to adapt.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
so
How do you feel about the young people today? It seems that they're losing so much, and we don't want the young people to lose what you were able to gain. The etiquette, the poise, the social grade decorum.
Yeah.
What can you say to these young people out here that can help them know, stay on the right track, and don't denigrate yourself, don't embarrass yourself, because you only bring yourself and others down.
right. I really blame the type of music that they're allowing to be heard on radio, videos, and what we see out there, right? The fact that, unfortunately, because parents work, and so a lot of this is raising their children. And I feel that it's important to listen to the words of the songs that you're listening to and praising. You know, are you really that type of person? Do you want to be that type of person? What type of attention does that bring? You know, think about the logic behind what you're doing and the cause and effect. If you are dressing, you know, where you're revealing all of this stuff, what type of attention are you actually bringing to yourself? If you feel like you need to dress like that in order to receive attention, think about why do you feel that you need to do that? So it's just all of those things you really want to think before you do. Think before you act. Every cause, every action has a reaction. Every cause has an effect. So if you think about those things, I think it will guide you better in how you carry yourself. Even in how you treat people. What reaction would you like to receive? So therefore, what action should you give first? You know, those type of things. And we have to be responsible for ourselves. That's another thing. A lot of people, we like to blame. You know, well, I wouldn't have acted that way if they didn't such and such. But you have to be responsible for yourself. How did you show up? You know what I mean? Because I feel like even if I say, I'll just give you an example. If I'm on the phone with a business, and there's something that I need them to do for me or excuse, you know what I mean? Even if they're in the wrong, I still am nice and I'm pleasant and I'm kind because I need something done. I need them to help me and work on my behalf. So the way that I give to them is what I'm going to receive back. And it always works.
Wow. Do you hear her out there? This is important information. We not only want the young people to hear, but we want the mature people to hear as well, because we've got to get back on track with good decorum. We've got to get back on track with respect to one another. So important. You know, we have LaToya's mother here, Miss Vivian, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her experience, not only with Beckman, but how she feels today as a woman, a mature woman in this world, and what she's doing to make it a better place. Before you go, tell us what your next ambition is. And I was saying to you, you should have Cinderella on Broadway.
Oh, I would love that. We all would love that. I hope so.
Yeah.
So we'll see where this takes us, because the word has gotten out. We've been sold out. We are sold out until the end of the show. So you know, the proof is in the pudding. So we shall see where they take us. But yeah, my next set of things that I'm doing is I'm doing City Winery in Chicago, September 1st. It's a steppers show. For those that like to, you know, step in the name of life.
I love it.
And then I have a song called More that's like a classic song in the steppers realm.
Yes.
And then I'm also doing a play called Set It Off. It's after the movie Set It Off with Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett.
Yes.
So I play Jada Pinkett's character. So we're doing a few dates in October with that. And then I also perform on, say, Norwegian Cruise Line, Royal Caribbean, Princess. So I have some dates there, as well as I am producing my own show that yes, it's going to be, I'm taking it to Vegas. It's in the beginning stages. I'm very excited about it. So I won't talk about it too much because I still am trademarking the name right now.
Okay.
And so, but that's one of my huge ventures that I'm getting into, aside from performing, being behind the scenes and actually producing shows.
Oh my goodness. On the ball. That's what we do at Beckman. We help the parents set the foundation so that these young people can do things that are not only powerful, but they change other people's lives. And well, it has truly been a pleasure. Thank you for coming. Thank you for inviting my husband and I. It is.
Thank you. I love you so much, and thank you for all that you have been and all that you are to me and to my family.
Thank you, my dear. Joining me now is LaToya London's mother, Miss Vivian DeFreece. Welcome to my show.
Glad to be here.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Vivian and I go back. Oh my God, Vivian, how many years?
Oh, wow. Early 80s, I'm going to say 30. LaToya was 9 years old.
9 years old.
So, 30 plus years.
Oh my goodness. That is amazing.
Can I say, you were 35 years old.
Oh, and now I'm 71.
So, and looking good.
And you are too. I love your hair.
Thank you so much.
So what has been happening?
I'm retired, of course. And I've been in Texas now 8 years. Moved from the Bay Area. And just wanted a different atmosphere.
Yeah.
I love the Bay Area, but the hospitality down south I love. When you get my age, which I'm grateful and I thank God that I'm still here, peace is so important.
Yes, yes.
Peace. You can't pay for peace.
And you know, I like that about you. You've always been that way, even though we had fashion shows, and Vivian here was one of my models, and you talk about a fine mamma jamma, well put together. She had the most gorgeous hourglass figure, and I would always put her in a swimsuit. I said, I don't want to put on the swimsuit this time. I said, well, everybody in the audience comes to look at you. And she wore gorgeous dresses, and we really appreciate that. But it took her seeing her daughter, LaToya, for her to say to me, you know, I'd like to have this training too. Talk to us about that.
Okay, and I'll be honest about it. I was coming out of a terrible divorce. And I ran into one of my classmates, Linda Brown, who gave me your name.
Yes.
She said, you would need to see Sabrina Samuels. She has a class of adult women that were battered, that just out there in the streets, and women going through what you're going through right now. So I said, give me her name, give me her number if it's okay. And that's when I called you.
Yeah,
I took your class and I appreciate it today.
thank you.
We had so much fun, but even though I loved clothes, I knew how to dress, but I needed something out of your class as an adult,
Yes,
you know, and that's getting that self-esteem back. Because I tell you, a lot of divorces with men and women, you can lose self-esteem,
absolutely.
you know, and I just needed that, and I needed that joy to come back. So just attending your classes,
Thank you.
the yacht cruise we went on, you know,
And we did,
I'll never
we
forget that.
did class all the way.
We all the way, and I
Yeah.
appreciate that so much, so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
And then when you learn that I did model the role, I said, well, I'd like you to be one of my models.
Yes, I did.
And started there, and then becoming one of your instructors at the school.
Yes, you were.
You know, I do believe in our young black. And I know I'm not a racist,
Right.
but our black children need that help. And I saw what you were doing. You know, I'm not gonna tear up. But I saw what you were doing.
Thank you.
So I was excited about it. Because I was just excited. So working with you in your classes brought me joy, and I couldn't wait to the next, you know, teaching the self-esteem, teaching hygiene, you know. And even though they had parents, but a lot of times children will listen to someone else other than
So
their
true.
parents.
Yeah.
Teaching them the proper way to sit, stand, speak, public
Yes.
speak,
How to interview for a
how
job.
to interview for jobs, you know. And of course, we had applications for those classes, like do's and don'ts of dating. And we had to get permission from the parents for that. But all of that's important for our young ladies and the men.
Oh, yeah.
And you doing that was a blessing.
Thank you.
And to be a young woman with an old spirit.
People always tell me that.
You,
Yes.
you know,
Well, tell me, how did that affect you in terms of your daughter? Because LaToya, she took classes from me,
Yeah.
but she soared because of your tutelage. You got behind her. How important is it for a parent to get behind their daughter, their son, their children?
it's important. I will say this. As a parent, I went through a lot in terms of her talent. Like I said, I discovered her real singing when she was 4. I knew she had an ear at a year old. And you follow that and you watch. But at the same time, don't take the education away and take them out of school. So I ran into, like, one parent, oh, it's okay if she misses school. Well, no, it's not okay, you know. You run into these promoters and all of that want to steer them a different way because they're thinking of self, not the child.
Yeah.
And I guess me being a stronger parent, and I have to say that, I know what's good for the child. I know what's good for the child. So learning about your school, I knew that would help. And trust me, she was ready. At 9, she couldn't wait. You know,
Little bitty thing, little bitty.
she couldn't wait and hung in there with big dogs.
Oh.
You know, she hung in there, and it was good for her being around the older girls that were in there.
Uh-huh.
You know, she hung tough for it.
Right on.
But your class helped her and carried her up to what she's now at 47.
Yeah.
All the students that you had, I see them sometime, you know, from back in California, whatever, and they remember, hi, Miss Vivian, you know, but to see where they are today and what they're doing, you see that Beckman coming in. You see that grace. I don't care if they became a tomboy later or whatever they do, but you have them walk around, they're gonna know how to walk, sit, stand, and speak.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I said, they got little Miss Sabrina's in them.
And I still see it now.
Yeah, well,
I see these
yes.
young ladies, some just turned 50 and look 30 years old.
Yes.
25, 30.
Polish.
One is 55, and I'm like, my God, time flies. And you can still see that polish.
You can see
It's
that.
instilled, and that's what God's called me to do. That's my
Yes.
mission. That's my mission.
And you stayed with.
Yes, I did. And I'm still doing it now. I have my private clients that call me one-on-one over the phone now. So I reach people from literally all over the world. And I'm very honored that they trust me with information.
Right.
And so I'm very thankful.
Yes.
What can you say in closing?
In closing, keep on doing what you do. I know it's tiring, but continue to press because it's in you. It's in you. And it's not about the money.
Yeah,
It comes from your heart.
it always has.
Always have. And I saw it,
Thank you.
and I still see it.
Vivian, you are beautiful.
Thank you.
I thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for inviting us to LaToya's beautiful play.
Yeah.
Thank you for being the dynamic woman you are. You're still going to help me when we get ready to get things rolling.
Yes, can't wait.
Okay.
It's gonna keep me young.
Oh, hey, you and me both. That's right.
Well,
Well, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this edition of the Sabrina Samuels Show with LaToya London and Vivian DeFreece. And I hope that you will remember, you are a winner. Never forget that. Lord, in your heart and soul to be true. Know that God is our foundation. Talk to Him. He listens. He hears us. And with Him, all things are possible. Talk to you soon. Bye now.
Bye-bye.